Sure. Yes, we are. I'm going to make sure that LinkedIn is popping up here. All right. Make sure I got everything muted on LinkedIn. And it looks like, yep, they can join. It's live. Okay. So first of all, everybody that is attending or that is here, audience, want to thank you for joining us for the very first ever Way of the Warrior Live. I am extremely excited to be doing this, and I have got one amazing individual that's joining us tonight. So I'm glad that you're here because it's going to be one hell of a journey. Okay. So my name's Trevor Martin, and I am the founder of RMF Coaching. And what I've done is I've created a YouTube show called Way of the Warrior with the purpose of grabbing warriors off of social media that are promoting goodness with that warrior mentality out into this dark world, right? And focusing on making sure that they are living that life on the daily and promoting it not only daily to themselves, but to others around them. So I have with me life coach Rebecca Schocker. And Rebecca, I got to tell you, I'm thrilled that you are here. So thank you for joining me here tonight.
Thank you, Trevor. It's an honor to be here. I'm excited that we're finally at this point. It's taken us a minute to get here, but hey, why not be the first one on the live, right?
Right. No, it has. There's definitely been some ups and downs in trying to get all schedules aligned, right? But that's a good thing too, right? It's a busy schedule. Busy schedules are good, especially in our line of work.
Yes.
So we were talking a little bit before we went live, and I really appreciate that candid conversation, conversation with you. It meant a lot. And we were talking about kind of where we have been in the past. So when we've, on the previously recorded, Way of the Warriors, it's kind of a 3-step journey, like what happens in the past to the present to going to the future, right? Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about looking at some of the obstacles that we've had to face in our past and move through. So I'm going to kind of ask, and I'm going to chime in here on my past as well, but has it always been easy street? Like, has it been pretty easy going for you, or have you hit some of those walls? And if you could share a couple of those with us, that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So nothing of value is ever easy, right?
Yes. Oh, perfect. Yep.
So my whole life has been definitely a lot of challenges, a lot of hurdles, but at the same time, I feel like, man, I've lived a good life. Like I'm so blessed as well, right? But it's been one obstacle after another. It's just holding that vision, honestly, Trevor, like having that vision of what I wanted for myself and to keep moving forward. Like stopping is not an option.
Yeah.
Settling is not an option. Being complacent is not an option. And I've had that in me my entire life for as long as I can remember. Like I've always wanted more. I'm like, I want more. I want more. And it's not that I want more material things or more anything like that that's external, but it's I wanted more for myself. And so to have that drive and that mission that keeps propelling me forward, right?
I love that.
So I've moved several times in my life, making these big adjustments in my own personal life to be able to keep moving forward, even not knowing what the future held for me, but staying the course and just trusting that, all right, I'm going to figure this out. I've done it before. I can do it again. Right.
Absolutely. You talked about overcoming those obstacles and staying the course. There's a lot of times where people have overcome the obstacles and then quit, right? They've overcome some obstacles and they're like, wow, that obstacle I just went through, like, I never want to experience that again, or I never want to experience something like that. And if that was like that, I don't think I want to keep moving forward. And so they don't stay the course. They quit. They stop.
Yeah.
And then that's the end.
Well, they stop before they see results, right?
Yeah.
So they stop when it gets hard.
Absolutely.
But it's having that focus of knowing what you want, but also being flexible and being willing to go with the flow. that life may give you different paths and different journeys, and that's okay. And not to be complacent or stuck in this one way of being, right?
Absolutely, 100%. So before we kind of continue, I want to that you said stuck in that one way of being, and I want to expand on that. Before we move forward with that, I want to say welcome to Michael, Ian, AJ, and Micah. Glad you guys are here. Thank you very much for the comments. Good evening, AJ and everybody. And Ian, you were very correct. Reed's imagery is pretty explicit. But Carolyn, welcome as well. So going back, Rebecca, going back to what you were talking about, right? Staying in that one spot and not evolving. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think so many people get stuck in their ways of thinking, which is most of the times limited thinking, because they can't see if they can't see something, so they don't have the ability, they can't see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, so they can't see the dream or the vision. And so they can only see what's in front of them, and they stay stuck in this place of mental torture, so to speak, because I know everyone out there has a dream. They have a dream of something for themselves.
Yeah.
They desire something for themselves, but they can't see outside of themselves to be able to take the steps and the action to propel themselves forward. And so they get stuck in this complacency of, well, this is just my life. And then also we have to take this on another level, is some people don't think about it.
Oh,
They're unconscious thinkers. They're just like, well, this is my life. I'm just going through the motions. And I will say, I was that woman. I was absolutely that woman before I got divorced. I was going through the motions. I was on autopilot, just doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing, even though I wasn't listening to my heart, knowing that there's this calling inside of me. There's something more, Rebecca. There's something missing. There's something missing. And that's been with me since I was 17. And I've never quite pinpointed it. And but realizing, like, waking up, and that's what I say is, like, I woke up. It's all of a sudden one morning I woke up and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Pardon my French, but like, what am I doing with my life?
French is allowed.
Like, what am I doing? And so I lit a match, blew up everything I knew to be my life, and I tipped everything upside down, and I went on my journey. And I kept moving forward. And I have to say, that wasn't the first time I did that. Done it several times.
And that's not, it's not easy to do that, right? Like, it's not easy to go, hold on. Okay, there's got to be a change here. I'm not feeling right with the status quo. I'm not feeling right with where I'm at. Yeah. Something has got to give. There's got to be a change. And then to make that change, but then to realize, okay, I changed here. Oh, I'm actually evolving even more, that another change is needed. Touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So I think humans are meant to change. We are meant to evolve. We're meant to change. And personally, I'm always in a constant state of change. I'm always shedding layers, right? Always. Like, I grow all the time. And I feel like the day that I stop growing is the day that I die. Right? So don't be afraid to change. And I would just say, just wear it like a warrior. It's okay to change. Like, that's how you grow. That's how you become the very best version of yourself. And I know it's scary. And I know people don't want to give up their old way of thinking because they're comfortable, right?
Yeah.
But that is not the journey of life. We're meant to live life. We're meant to explore. We're meant to experience things. And so it's just having that mindset of really, truly trusting myself and the journey that I'm on, and living in that state of uncertainty. I've gotten really good at that. Like, I thrive in uncertainty, and most people can't. They need predictability, right? They need predictability. They need stability. Well, guess what? I go off of faith, and it's faith in myself. It's faith that I know that I'll figure it out no matter what.
That's impressive, because I'm going to tell you what, and I admire that. I really do. One of the things that I'm not good at is that uncertainty. I need that structure. I need that predictability. I do. Yeah. And I have to admit, right, candidly, that when it comes to change, it's almost like my change. I don't want to say, how do I say this? That I'm already forecasting the change. Like, okay, I want to be this, so I'm going to change in this way. Like, I've already created the narrative in my head, so I'm already pre-planning it, and it's not actual change. It's not. I haven't let go. Right, I haven't let go of the necessary things within to actually facilitate that deep change, and that is a huge. Personally, that's a huge struggle for me because I hold on, and I've talked about this before on some of the other shows, but I hold on to, and I'm getting better, I'm working on it, but I hold on to, deep rooted anger, rage, whatever it might be. And so whatever unbridled change that could be, it's still held back a little bit, right? So I admire the fact that you're like, hey, nope, I'm letting it go. Let's roll.
Can I add something to that? Why that is?
For sure.
So it's because, so you consciously know what you want, right? You know what you want consciously. You know what you need to do, right?
Right on.
But
Yes.
you can't bring yourself to do it. And that this is your subconscious mind. And so until your subconscious mind catches up with your conscious mind, no change will ever happen. Okay. Your subconscious mind is the ruler of all thoughts, behaviors, and actions. And until you get this caught up with your conscious mind and you marry the two together, nothing will change. So what does that look like? That looks like you have to start changing the thoughts that you have. And then you have to start creating beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And what you believe to be true about yourself. And that anger, that's sadness turned inward. That's sadness. And I don't mean to coach you, but that's sadness, right?
Go ahead.
That's sadness. And so that we have to honor that part of you that's sad, right? And move past that and process that and feel that. And so once you do that, then you start to catch up these old beliefs that are deeply embedded in your subconscious mind. You bring it up here, then you start taking action. And this applies to every single person because I was that person. I consciously knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't break myself to change. There were things about myself that I couldn't change, mostly in terms of relationships, right? Personal relationships, romantic relationships. And I couldn't bring myself to get out of this relationship because my subconscious belief system. I didn't believe I was worthy of anything different.
Okay, see that's I mean that totally resonates with the worthy, right? Worthy of something different. So
Yeah.
I go back, right? You talk about that sadness, and I mean, you nailed it on the head, right? There is a deep rooted sadness there, and it's hard and to sit there and go, okay, I am worthy. And I'm actually, it's crazy because Sam Sierra just hopped on, and I talked on her Untethered Phoenix on her show about that worth, that self-worth, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I love about what you were just saying is that, and I hadn't really thought of it that way, like the subconscious mind coming up to and connecting with the, catching up with the conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm not gonna let go of. That's gonna stick. That's gonna resonate with me. So
Yeah.
I want to say real quick, thank you for the people that are joining. We've got Keith. Hey brother, so glad you're here. The dreaded "it is what it is" lifestyle. Absolutely. You're so on point. It is a dreaded lifestyle. Tom Meadows, thank you for joining. Micah says, in order to change, you have to heal and make room for what you want. Brother, that is so true. That is so true. Sam, we're so glad you're here. And Tom says again, you have to set short-term goals that are realistic. And once you meet those bunch of small goals, you've hit the mark and you can continue to build. Healing is essential. Never forget, Rome wasn't built in a day. My man.
Love that.
Love that. Absolutely.
Can I add something to this?
Please do.
Part of recognizing that you have sadness, it doesn't mean anything about yourself, right? This doesn't mean that you're a sad person. It just means, okay, I have this emotion, I have this feeling inside of me that I need to heal. because I recognize that this is holding me back from, and it's preventing me from stepping into that highest version of myself. But most of the time people tend to, they suppress, especially men, they tend to suppress their emotions and feelings because they're not taught how to deal with them, how to process.
Preach.
So when you allow those to come up to the surface and you feel them, you heal them. We know that, right? But also recognizing it doesn't mean anything about you. It's just an emotion. Our emotions are there to signal us that, hey, there's something that's going on that we need to address, right? Other than that, it doesn't mean anything. But sometimes people just tend to think that it means something about themselves and it's a character flaw. And that's just not true. It's not
Preach.
true.
Oh man, preach. I could listen to how you coach. I could listen to that mindset all day long. I absolutely could. So let me ask this, since I mentioned coaching kind of on purpose. Since I mentioned coaching, how did you get into this? Like, what was that? What was that part of the evolution? Was that part of one of your changing moments? How did you go? You know what? I am going to help other people. I'm going to be a coach. How did that come about?
Yeah. So I moved to Utah on a scholarship, full ride scholarship, and I thought I was going to be a counselor. Thank you. I thought I was going to be a counselor in the school system because I moved here with a 2-year-old, and I thought I want to have the same schedule as my daughter. And my little school counselor back in elementary had such an impact on me, and I loved her so much. I was like, that sounds wonderful. Well, I was a semester away from graduating, and I realized, all right, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a therapist. But I knew at that time too, my first year of college, that I wanted to be a life coach. But here I am, young 20-something-year-old, thinking, okay, I don't have enough life experience to be a life coach. So I went out and gave myself life experience, and I gave myself a lot of experience, a lot. And it wasn't honestly, Trevor, until my divorce that I was sitting at an open house because I sold real estate part-time when I was a stay-at-home mom. And in real estate, so I never did anything with therapy, but I did graduate. But I sold real estate part-time, but I only saw dollar signs. And I was like, oh, I can just make really good money in real estate. And everyone's like, oh, Rebecca, you'd be so good at real estate. And so I kind of went with that because people were telling me that's what I should do. Well, I hated it. I hated every single minute of real estate, and I still do. And I was sitting at an open house, and I came across this video about starting your own coaching business, and something clicked, and I was like, all right, boom, here's $5,000. And I invested, which was probably not the smartest thing, but it got me on the path. And then also, since I was going through my own journey of personal development and self-discovery, self-mastery, it made sense. And so I was like, all right, I'm creating this business. And I started out with coaching women, like with fitness, because I'm passionate about fitness, you know that. And I realized very, very quickly that I was like, I don't want to tell someone how to work out. That working out's my thing. And then I realized too that I'm like, there's so much more than how you're exercising and what you're eating. It starts up here. It starts with your mindset. And if you don't get your mindset right, none of this will last. We're not doing this to get fit for summer or get your bikini body. This is a lifestyle. And so I started transitioning to mindset and life coaching. And then from there, I had my first male client. We did life coaching, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. And the men kept showing up, and I kept resisting. I was like, I don't want to work with men. No men. But then I was like, Rebecca, embrace it. Just embrace it. Like, you speak boy. Just do it. So here we are. And that's how we have my hybrid coaching. So it's part therapeutic, part life coaching, personal development. Really, self-mastery is probably the biggest thing, is teaching people self-mastery. Because when you can master yourself, you can master everything else.
Oh, preach. Like 100%, hands down. And I absolutely want to focus on this point real quick. When you said that, physical fitness isn't a fad. Isn't like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm gonna work out right now because I want this, and then I'm just gonna let it go, and then I'll work out again because I want it back, right? No, it's a lifestyle, right? It is a committed lifestyle, and I absolutely applaud that. I applaud that statement. I absolutely do. Absolutely.
I love the gym. Like, I love working out. To me, it's my playground, right?
Oh, It's my sanctuary.
It is.
I gotta have it. I gotta
Yeah.
have it.
And so as we go back to talking about those obstacles that I faced and like going through hardship and going through divorce and a custody battle, like the one thing in my life when everything was a mess, the one place where I could control, and I've posted about this before, was how much weight I put on the bar at the gym. I was like, I
Right?
can measure this. I can push myself. And I liked feeling strong. Right. And through that, I continue to like build my mental strength as well. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, if I can do this hard thing, I bet I can do another hard thing. So you know how I live my life? I challenge myself every single day. I challenge myself. What can Rebecca do?
Mm.
And I keep it so it becomes, it's novel, right? So I'm
Yeah.
always trying to challenge myself. I'll open the doors with my feet or do weird stuff like that.
Right. But it's those small challenges. It's those
Mhm.
small challenges, excuse me, I can't talk, that keep you sharp. They keep you they keep that battle axe honed right where it needs to be. Okay, so I gotta tell you this real quick, like sidebar. So I was talking to Jamie last night about this event and how excited I was, and I'm like, hey, like and I was talking about how badass you are like at the gym. Like I'm like, you have no idea. Like I'll look at something that Rebecca's done and I'm going, I'm like, I can tell you like how many muscles would pull trying to do this. And the last one was, I don't even know how much weight you had in your hands, but you're jumping like you
Oh,
look like Spider-Man. You're jumping from the floor up onto these blocks with these weights in your hand and then jumping down, then jumping back up. And I think the post was something about you were finding, and it goes to what you were just saying, like opening the door with my feet. You were doing new things at the gym, something different that not everybody's doing, that pushes not only your physical abilities but
mhm.
mentally as well, right? And I'm watching the video going, I've already failed because there's no way I could jump off like that. But that's not the point. That's your point, Trevor. You did that. You try it.
Yeah.
Get in there and keep doing it until you don't fail, until you land up on those
Yeah.
blocks.
And I think it's also important. Like, I don't care if I look like a dork or if I'm doing different things. Like, I don't care. I'm there for me. And so I'm super
Mhm.
focused at the gym. And it's, you have to, you can't be afraid to be a beginner. Right. And
Right.
so I'm going to try this because this sounds fun. And to me, it's just fun. Another challenge, like this whiteboard right here, I will write with um, I will write backwards. I'll try to write backwards on it. Another challenge to test my brain and my skill, right? So I
Yeah.
think life is like, I know personally, and I think everybody probably needs this, but I need challenges. Like
Right
if
on.
I don't have a challenge in my life, I feel very bored, right? And so I
Yep.
need something to challenge myself. What can Rebecca do? What am I capable of? Because one of the biggest regrets that most people have is being on their deathbed and realizing like I never reached my fullest potential.
Yeah.
Right?
All of the what ifs, like, oh, what if I had done this? I mean, I was gonna do it, but then I didn't. And then absolutely. 100%.
But
100%.
and I will add to this too, it comes back to being intentional. So
Mm.
being intentional with how I live my life, right? I'm
Yeah.
very, very intentional with what I do. I'm not half-assing things. I'm not screwing off at the gym. I'm not screwing off in business or with friendships or anything. Like I'm very, very intentional, right?
Yeah.
And when you have intention, it really sets the bar for the things that you need to do, and everything else is just a distraction.
Preach. Okay, so I want to yes. So we were talking about this before we hit record,
Yeah.
right? So going back to the intentional, and you're very intentional in what you do, and that includes unplugging, right? And for me, we were talking about like that's a huge battle for me. Like I will be like, okay, I'm taking a step back. I'm gonna unplug. I'm spending more time with the family, less time here, more time with my meditating with my just with me, right? More Harley rides, yeah, right? So I'm going to be intentional in that, but I will be honest with you, I really struggle with it, and sometimes I really suck at it.
Yeah.
You, however, do not. You are very, very, very good at that. Hey, has it been like that for you ever since you started unplugging and walking away from social media when you needed to?
I mean, not always. It's been a work in progress, right? Like I
Yeah.
had to train myself to not respond and not always be so available, right? But
Right.
as I've gotten more busy and I've valued my time a lot more, I just realized like nothing is that important that it needs my immediate attention. Nothing.
Mm.
And I told you this too. It's like unless it's my kid calling me and they're bleeding, like nothing's that important, right? So those things can wait. I don't have to respond immediately. And I will say this, Trevor, like I spend a lot of time alone with my thoughts, a lot of alone time with my thoughts. And just I can just sit there and just be, right? I don't need to be doing anything. I can just sit. And to me, that's been very healing for me just to be alone with my thoughts. I don't need a distraction. And you know that everybody's addicted to their phones. Everybody's
Yeah.
scrolling on their phones. And to me, it's just a waste of time. And so it comes back to valuing your time. And when you value your time, you realize not everybody gets a piece of you, right?
Yeah. And we talked about this too. Like you are very intentional with who gets that time, right,
Yeah.
from you.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to be because you have to value yourself because people will be energy vampires and they'll be thieves of your time and you just can't have that because of their own, I shouldn't say this, but dysfunction or their own lack or whatever they're feeling, their own emptiness. People are constantly reaching out for that dope hit. They need that dopamine hit. They need that validation. They need
Absolutely.
something. And it's like, I'm not your person.
Yeah.
Bugger off.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's a reflection of them. If people are constantly are trying to get at you or talk to you or waste your time, right? And so you have to understand like what you're doing, what your mission is, what you set out to accomplish, and then be very, very selective, right? And
Sure.
then when you get me, guess what? You get all of me.
Yeah.
All of me. Like I'm 100% present. I'm here, I'm in this moment, and I'm present. And that's how I live my life. That's how I
Yeah.
parent. That's how I work out at the gym. I'm there, right? I'm there.
100%. And
Well,
you can tell not only like in through your social media posts, through you right, well actually any interaction that is 100% accurate. That is how you live your life from the day to day.
yeah.
You were talking about, going back. One of the things that I suck at is actually sitting still with my thoughts, right? And with zero distraction. I find that getting on the back of the old Harley, right? Getting back on the back of the Harley, that's actually where I got the rumbling pipes, got everything. That's where I feel the most free and my thoughts can just go, right? That's
Yeah.
where the whole story of the blacktop gods, and all of that came to be, just, riding with some ancient gods, and that my mind is already extremely active and the imagination just goes crazy, when I'm out there. But
Yeah.
it's freeing.
Mm-hmm.
It's it just, I don't know, it alleviates so much stress. It's and it's calming. It
Yeah.
absolutely is.
I would say it's definitely probably liberating
Yeah, for
being on
sure.
a motorcycle.
The-
I want to get one.
you got to. I mean, I'm telling you right now that I don't know. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So over here on the comments, we've got Sam, or sorry, I am totally gonna mess up this name. Sadir says, I think I hope I got your name right. Patience and perseverance is key for success. Ups and downs is part of journey. Accept it and you will be a warrior. Absolutely. Hands down. Absolutely. Untethered Phoenix, as Sam says, everything starts with the mindset. Yep, it sure does. It starts and ends with that, right? When we think about how we're starting our day and how we're closing out our day, it matters right up here, because I believe how you close out the day previously is going to be a precursor to the beginning of your next day. I
I,
really,
I agree with you. You know what I started doing, and I think this is a great, great tip for anyone. So each night before I go to sleep, I journal, and I journal all the time. I'm a big writer, but I've started journaling all the great things in my life, right? Everything that's going great for
yeah.
me. And so I just write like everything that's going great. And I will say that sets the tone for the next day.
Mm,
I mean, something is that we take for granted, something as simple as my warm bed, right? I got a roof over my head. All my kids are healthy, right?
very
all these little things that we don't normally think about, but just writing all those things out, all the things that are going great.
Yeah.
And
Because
that
it's,
really sets me in a good position.
yeah, absolutely. Because it's crazy, to your point, when one of those things is off, how much the day is affected, right?
Yeah.
Like
You ruminate on it. You
oh
can't
yeah,
think of anything else.
exactly. And everything tends to shift and move around according to that. So uh,
Yeah.
preach, preach.
Comes
A
back
key,
to that gratitude, right?
yes, hands down. And we don't, when we've talked about this too, we don't do enough of being grateful and having that gratitude present in our daily lives.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the hiccups. Keith says, do easy things, hard life. Do things, okay. Do easy things, hard life. Do hard things, easy life. Brother, preach.
Yeah.
Failure is the foundation of winning. Tom, if you're still in here, I absolutely love that, and I believe that 100%. I want to dig into that more. Failure is the foundation of winning. What do you mean by that? I'd love to hear your words. So if you're still here, I hope you are. I want to hear your comment on that. You are both practicing gratitude and manifestation. Aw, Sam, thank you. You're amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Love you so much. So we're gonna probably drop this out about the 45-minute mark, and we're at 31 minutes. So I just want to let everybody know, if you have questions for us regarding a warrior lifestyle, regarding mindset, regarding physical fitness, whatever it might be, now's the time to go and throw those questions up in the comments, and we will do what we can to answer those to the best of our ability. In the meantime, Rebecca, one of the things, let me ask this. We were talking about earlier, like, hey, Trevor, like that sadness that's deep rooted. Have you ever in your, as you've been growing, as you grew up, as you came through, life, have you ever been bullied?
No, I've never
Really?
been bullied. I've never been bullied, and I've never bullied anyone ever.
That is absolutely insane. And I'm so glad that the answer is no, you have not been bullied, and no, and that you didn't bully anybody. I think a lot of the things for me is that I was bullied in high school. So then I created what you see today, because I was tired of being bullied. So I got bigger and I threw some ink on my skin, and oh, look, scary big guy. But I'm actually I'm a big teddy bear. But I created that thinking that it would actually start to heal what was inside. The
Mm-hmm.
problem was it didn't. It didn't heal at all. It actually made it worse, and it ignited me being a bully. It ignited me treading on other people, because then I thought, you know what? For years you did this to me. Now I'm big enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pay it back. And I'm gonna and the collateral damage was horrible. So I
Yeah.
think, and Sam knows this from the Untethered Phoenix episode, but I think it's the going back and realizing that, okay, yes, that's anger, yes, that sadness is in there, got to do something about it, but being mindful enough, to your point earlier, that subconscious to conscious mind, getting those to where they need to be to go, okay, hey, we know you need to do the work. What are we going to do about it? Now is the time, right?
Yeah. I think what's so important, and you hit on a very, very good point, Trevor. So oftentimes people think that if they change their external, the way that they look, they get tattoos. This is so common. Or, they start working out, or they buy the fancy cars or the houses, that they think that that changes who they are, that it means something. And to me, it doesn't, it's almost like a false sense, right? Is like, and I don't mean to pick on you with this, because I know you have tattoos, and I know a lot of people have tattoos,
Go
but a lot
ahead.
of times people have tattoos and they think that that makes them, it comes back to the same philosophy as earlier, but they think it means something about who they are. And I know some people really love the art, and so I'm not trying to bash that. And it means, they have their own sentimental values with tattoos. I used to actually have tattoos, but I got mine removed, so I don't have any tattoos now, and I'm very, very grateful that I don't. But it's oftentimes when we're in that mindset, as if we change this exterior, that then we're better, right? That life's good. And it's truly the work that we need to do, it comes from the inside, you know, and we know this as coaches, but it's the door swings inward, right? And so if you want your external world to change, you've got to change what's in here.
Preach.
You've got to change the way that you think about yourself, the way that you feel about yourself, and that you love that person that's staring back at you in the mirror every single fucking day. Because that is the
Absolutely.
only person that will be with you until the day you die. So
Mm,
you have to look out for number one. That's it. And
preach.
everything else falls into place, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
And
So,
it's, yeah.
go ahead.
No, that's all.
All right, so our first question, I love that. I'm passionate, especially the F-bomb that you dropped in there. Fucking love it. So Sam says, I've gotten to the point in life where I see my trauma as a gift. Have either of you reached that point? If so, what's the best gift it's given you? Oh, right? Like, of
Yeah, you want
course,
me to
Sam,
go?
you would come up with a question like that.
So I dated a sociopath for a few years ago, like a true sociopath, not using that word like everybody wants to throw it out, like he's a narcissist. This guy, I'm not kidding you, was a true sociopath, diagnosable as antisocial personality disorder. And going through that, like he wreaked havoc on my whole entire life. I lost everything that was near and dear to me, right? But if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And so it's almost like I don't regret it. Like I'm sad that I hurt people that I love and that I cared about. But I'm also very grateful that I did go through it because it's given me the ability to see. I have sight, right? And so I can see through people. I'm a human lie detector test. You can't bullshit me. And I read people like a book. And so I love that, right? Which is really a positive because in my coaching, since I'm working with the subconscious mind and the subconscious belief system so deeply, it helps me really tap into that. So it truly is a gift.
Man.
It hurts. It's hard, but it was a gift.
I got goosebumps. Carolyn, I love what she just said. Turning your pain into purpose, absolutely, 100%. For me, it was turned some of my trauma right into a gift, and a lot of that is reaching out to those that have been bullied and those that are set on being the bully and saying, "Hey, look, that is not for those that have been bullied. Look, you can overcome it. You will come out of that locker that you're stuffed into to one day being a leadership coach. You will go from being so nervous that you stutter that you now can be a public speaker in front of high school and college students, right? In front of church groups, whatever it might be. So you can overcome those. So to your point, not having had I not gone through the trials and tribulations, wouldn't be Trevor who I am today. So absolutely, Sam, love the question. Keith says, Rebecca, you spoke earlier about living that life of settling and how you decided to change that. What was the one thing that happened that triggered your need to change your situation? What was the first step you took to your change surroundings? Was the first step you took to change your surroundings to match your new internal narrative that the life you were living wasn't fulfilling? Ooh, these are so good. Like,
how did I decide to change that? Okay, well, it started with that vision of what I wanted, right? And then getting in touch with my soul and my heart and listening to that.
The alignment.
And listening to that calling and that feeling that I had and taking one step and not seeing the whole staircase, right? Just taking that one step. Okay, I took a step. Guess what? I got to take another step. Let's try this out. Let's see what this feels like. And so I just started taking baby steps as I started to step into that. And I started to grow. And what was the other question? What was the first? Okay, I took a step. So I just keep stepping. I just keep going. I'm just taking step after step. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out and I'm having fun while I'm doing it.
I like that. I like right there. See, to me, that catches me off guard. Right there, it just did. Because you go, I don't know what I'm doing, And in my head, I went, wait, you have to. Like, you have to know what you're doing, right? But to your point, no, I don't. I don't have to, and I'm having fun while I'm doing it. That
Right.
unstructured, that right there, like, and you can clearly see that. And then you can clearly see how it is absolutely 100% working in your life and what you do.
And that's who I am. Thank you. And that's just who I am. Like as I said, I challenge myself, but I test myself too. Everything that I do, everything I put out on social media, it's a test. All right, here, let's test this. Let's test this. What resonates with people? What are people needing to hear? Because
Yeah.
I'm here to serve people. I'm here to help people. I'm here to heal people. And so what do I need to be putting out there? What
Mm,
message, what do people need to hear, right? And
yeah.
I try to speak the truth. Like I'm a truth seeker. Like I just
Yeah.
speak the truth. And maybe my truth doesn't align with your truth, but I know my truth. And to me, that's all that matters. I know my truth.
Yes, yes, yes. You know your truth. And to you, that's all that matters. Because
That's
when
right.
you start, oh man, you're gonna get me to go on a rant. When you start trying to figure right, I talk about authenticity and originality all the time. When you start trying to bend your narrative to everybody else's truth around you, it's not you.
Yeah.
Right? You have now cared about what everybody else is doing in their output, and you have lost sight
Yeah.
on you and your truth and how beautiful your truth is. Oh man, I could talk about that forever.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And I think too, like this is why I don't scroll social media because I don't want to be influenced by other people's thoughts. I
Mm,
I'm so selfish when
no,
it comes to social media. Like I will post my own shit, but I hardly scroll. And but that's just because I don't it's unless it's something that's educational or something interesting, I really just don't care. I
yeah,
don't want to hear it because we live in a world now, and I could go off on a tangent with this, but everybody's posting stuff, and I'm just like, it's information overload. I got to
there it
be
is.
clear with my own thoughts and how I think and how I'm influencing myself. I don't want to
Mm,
be influenced by other people's opinions, right?
absolutely.
I like that Sam said she's a perspective hunter. Do tell. I like that.
I do too.
That's
I absolutely, and thank you for saying I'm the best bully sponsor. Thank you. Appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. Right when we have coaches attending, we are going to get those amazing questions, and that's what we're looking for. So we're about 3 minutes out from shutting this down, y'all. So if you have any more questions, please make sure that you get those in there. Rebecca, as we're kind of winding down here, when you look at current state to future state, you know what? Let's go future state more. Let's say 3 to 5 years. Where do you see yourself? What are you doing? Like, what's the coaching? What's happening?
that's the $1,000,000 question. You can't ask me that because I
Okay,
don't live my life with structure or certainty. I don't know.
damn it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm probably traveling. I'm
Ooh,
probably overseas in a different country.
there you go.
Is
There you go.
probably where I'll be. I'll probably have a international bestseller.
There you go. I love that.
You like
Internet.
those high goals?
Yeah, traveling and an international bestseller. Hell yeah. Okay, so let's go with the traveling. Where's the first stop? Where are you going first?
Out of the country, where am I going first?
Yep.
Denmark.
Oh, why Denmark?
I don't know. My heart's calling it, calling
I
me.
love that. I love that. I love that. Easton. Easton made it on here. What's up, buddy? I'm so glad that you. Oh man, you're gonna make me blush on TV. I am so, or not TV, on YouTube. I'm so glad that you're here, man. On TV. Oh man, I'm old. So one of the things that I like to do, Rebecca, so thank you for answering those, and I love that you're like, no, I don't know, no, Trevor, way to hit me with a structured question. So, so as we move forward and kind of wrap this up, how can people get a hold of you if they're interested in what you offer in using you as a life coach or just even diving into some conversations? How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah. So I'm on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't do much with TikTok, but they can message me. I'm very responsive, but I will say this. Since I'm a very intentional person, you need to come at me direct because I'm a direct person. So just tell me what you want, tell me what you're looking for, be direct. Don't Don't try.
No pitch slaps. No pitch slaps.
So just tell me, like, I'll help you. They can message me privately. They can book a call. It's in my profile. It's on my website, which is Real with Rebecca. My Instagram's Real with Rebecca, Rebecca Schocker on Facebook and LinkedIn, and have it that way for a reason, because I'm just try to present real, right?
Mm,
Just this is who
preach.
I am. And if it resonates, great. If not, okay, bye-bye.
Hey, I get that. I absolutely get that 100%.
Yeah.
So, audience, thank you for being here and thank you for chiming in. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Rebecca, thank you for joining me for the very first Way of the Warrior Live. We are going to be doing, audience, we are going to be doing these, the live Way of the Warrior Lives. I continue to do just the regular Way of the Warriors about every month or so. So you see those drops about every 3 weeks. But we are going to continue to do Way of the Warrior Live. So please drop your feedback, whether it's on YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever, on how you felt that this live event went. And if you are interested in being on the show, definitely get a hold of me and let me know. But once again, we're going to go ahead and sign off. So Rebecca, thank you very, very much. Like from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being on here. Thank you for being the very first Way of the Warrior Live. And hey, and I guarantee we'll be doing other live events as well in the future. So I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Trevor. Such a pleasure. Thank you, everyone that was here. Thanks for your comments.
Yep, we sure appreciate everybody. And we're going to go ahead and end this stream. So everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.